Welcome back to another edition of Rational Wrestling Talk. And this is the Rational Wrestling Mark. And I'm going to be talking about damage control. And specifically Io Sky, who recently just won the WWE Women's Championship, cashing in her Money in the Bank contract, and shockingly pinned Bianca Belair. Now, during my predictions, I did predict that there was not going to be any cash-ins during SummerSlam. I got half of that right. So Damian Priest did not cash in, but Io Sky did. And I gotta say, I'm happy for Io Sky. I'm very proud because it's like in the women's division, there's not a lot of fan favorites that are left in the women's division. I really believe that Io Sky is a genuine fan favorite. Like, did you hear that crowd when she pinned Bianca? First of all, even when she just came out, her music played. You can tell the crowd was ready for her to cash in. They were ready for it, and we don't know how her title reign is going to look and what it's going to be like. Time will tell. But I am expecting Asuka and Io Sky to go at it. We got to get a title match between Io and Asuka at Payback. We got to get that match. I believe once you put those two in a title match in a program, and you just let them loose. You don't restrict them. You don't, you don't have them work within the confines of the usual routine, right? The usual women's match routine. You just have them go out there and just wrestle. You have them wrestle like they were wrestling in Stardom, right? And really show the rest of these ladies how it's done. Because if you just let these two off the hook, all the bells and whistles, these two can put on one hell of a match, probably match of the year. They're going to kill it. But when it comes to damage control as an entire faction, they have not been a success. And it's kind of funny how 1 year ago they made their debut. Now, a year later, come full circle, Io Sky is the women's champion. Bayley and Dakota were seen celebrating with Io. And you had that moment of those three together in the ring. And it reminded me of like, wow, these three came together, debuted as a faction last year's SummerSlam. And now a year later, Io is the champion. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, this is a full circle moment right here. Like, despite how they've been booked, and they've been booked underwhelmingly. I mean, they've had, they lost to Bianca. They lost to Lita, Trish, and Becky. They didn't have the best of luck. And winning those women's tag team championships did them no favors. They didn't really make those titles important, And for a while, it felt like Io, Dakota were just the lackeys of Bayley, And Dakota Kai and Io Sky, they're too talented to be anybody's lackey, But for a minute, ever since like WrestleMania, it seemed we were going to see the end of Damage Control, and it was a tried effort. You know, they gave it time for it to work, and overall, it just wasn't clicking. I will give Bailey, Io, and Dakota and the creative team and Triple H a lot of credit for trying to make this work, for trying to give us a female faction. And you put time into it, you invested time, you gave them a program, you gave them a storyline, you tried, and it just wasn't working. So the logical step is to break them up, right? We're thinking, okay, Dakota and Bailey could turn on Io. I still think, now get this, I still think that Dakota and Bailey will turn on Io Sky. You know, I feel like separating ourselves from the whole not Bailey, from the whole Bianca and Charlotte thing, and kind of like get them away from the title scene, because let's be honest here, Bianca Belair, she's too popular, I should say, and not too popular, but right now her character just doesn't need a championship because she already held it for over a year. She had a huge title reign as a black female wrestler. That is rare. So that's something to be proud of, you know, and something that a lot of fans of Bianca Belair's can brag about, you know, especially other colored people, African Americans. They can look back like, yo, they gave one of our own a long reigning championship, a long championship reign, you know? So Bianca and Charlotte, they do not need to be in the title picture. We can get those two out the title picture ASAP. Don't even give Bianca a rematch. If there's anybody that's going to get a rematch, it's going to be Asuka. And I don't know if this is going to happen. I'm just kind of creating a scenario. Io gets past Asuka eventually, and then we do the whole Damage Control betrayal, breaking up Damage Control. Bailey, Dakota Kai, they pull an Evolution, you know? Io Sky is Randy Orton, Bailey, Dakota Kai, Triple H, and Batista. You know, they turn on Io Sky, they attack her. It's out of jealousy and rage, envy. You know, yeah, they were happy for her when she first won the title, but give it time. You know how these things go. Bailey wanted to become women's champion, and you've had segments where that was being teased of Bailey screwing over Io Sky, and a lot of people thought that Bailey was going to screw over Io Sky, and she didn't. Thank God she didn't. I was saying when it was happening, when she was cashing in, I'm like, you better not have Bailey screw her over, man. Do not have Bailey screw her over. We thought she was, but thank God it didn't happen. But I do see in the coming weeks some tension, some jealousy with Dakota and Bailey directed at Io, because Io is very popular. You really get behind Io Sky, the fans are going to F with her. They F with Io Sky. You know, she is over. And that's why I said there's not a lot of female wrestlers today that the fans genuinely, you know, I can't even talk, organically like, okay? I feel like the fans organically like Io Sky more than the rest of the division, you know? But I do see Damage Control breaking up through Io Sky's success. You know, it's only going to work. Like them breaking up is only going to be more effective and work when Io, because of Io Sky's success and her winning the title. You know, if her success, it's going to drive a wedge with Dakota and Bailey, and they're going to get jealous, of course, and pull the whole evolution betrayal, you know, and then we go from there. And then that gives Io Sky, that actually gets more out of her title reign. You know, I feel like we're going to get more out of Io Sky as women's champion, more than what you think. You know, when you look at Bianca and Charlotte, like, what are you going to get out of them as champion? Like, what is Charlotte going to do as women's champion? Not a whole lot. And I'm going to talk about Charlotte in a separate video. Bianca is not going to do a whole lot as champion. She might do a little bit more, but in terms of storylines, in terms of feuds, she's not going to have a whole lot to work with. Like, you saw the peak of her title reign was with Becky. Feuding with Becky, feuding with Bailey, Damage Control, and that was about it. And then it just kind of got a little boring when she got into that Asuka feud, you know? And Asuka could have got a little bit more out of her title reign, specifically an Io Sky feud and a possible Kairi Sane return, possibly teaming up with Asuka, helping her retain the title. You know, that would have been very, very interesting if they would have done that, if they would have went with that direction. But when I look at Io Sky's title reign going forward, you have the Asuka match, okay? You got that coming up. You also have the impending Damage Control breakup, which is going to happen. So once that happens, we're going to get the best out of Io Sky, I feel like. And that's when her title reign is going to have some legs. It's not going to be some meaningless title reign where, they put the belt on her, they give her like one title defense, and then she loses it she drops it to Charlotte or Bianca. And that cash really meant nothing. No, we put the belt on Io. I think it's in their best interest to invest in it for maybe 3 to 4 months. You know, and judging by the reaction that she got when she first won the title, they're going to be okay with it. The fans are going to like it. You know, I don't think the fans want to sit through another Bianca Belair title reign, let alone Charlotte. Y'all didn't even give Asuka a chance, and that's sad. But I do think going forward, we are going to get the most out of Io's women's title reign, right? Once again, she got Asuka to feud with, right? And that's going to be a banger. And then Damage Control, Bailey, Dakota Kai will turn on her. And that's going to be very interesting to watch that whole development, right? To see how that unfolds. It's really about how do we get to that point, everything that happens leading up to that eventual breakup, because it will happen. But yeah, it's a full circle moment for Damage Control. Like I said, they have not been successful as a group, and they should have been broke up after WrestleMania. You know, they've lost a lot of matches, so them losing, it hurt their credibility, and them not giving Bailey the women's championship at that time when she was feuding with Bianca, it just hurt her momentum. And on top of that, they didn't even win War Games. They couldn't even win War Games. You know? And Bianca's team won, right? So they lost a lot of momentum. But I think with, Io obviously is the star of the group. She's the MVP of damage control. And that's going to create a lot of jealousy and envy with Bayley, Dakota Kai. So I personally see this title reign as interesting, intriguing. I'm looking forward to see how things are going to unfold with the women's division on SmackDown. I think it has a chance to improve, right? And to see what the aftermath will be. And I'm looking forward to see if Bayley, Dakota Kai, if they're going to start teasing jealousy and, kind of being envious of Io, right? We'll see what happens. But nonetheless, congratulations to Io Sky. I think she earned it. And once again, genuinely, I can't even say the word. I really can't say that word, y'all. I'm having a hard time pronouncing that word. Organically, she is well liked by the audience, and they have taken a liking to her organically, and that's something to really point out, because not a lot of the women on the roster, especially the baby faces, are not organically liked, except for Becky. Like a genuine, an organic baby face, an organic female baby face. And, Io is not going to be a heel very long. I mean, when you look at Io Sky's moveset, her moveset does not scream heel. It's a baby face moveset, right? She's meant to be a baby face, and that's her organic role. So let me know your thoughts down below. Where do you think her title reign is going to go? Do you think it will be successful? Do you, what's your predictions on how they're going to book Io Sky? I personally think they can get a lot out of her title reign if they know what they're doing, and if they're serious about making her a serious champion. So with that being said, make sure you like the video for the algorithm. This is another edition of Rational Wrestling Talk. Thank you all for watching, and I'm out.